Have you seen Wayne's World? You're supposed to go. All right? Is that how it's done?
Yeah.
That's how it's done, right?
3, 2.
Wait, do you say one or you just mimic one?
No, you mimic it.
Welcome to This Is How We Brew It. Who brews it?
We do.
We brew it. This is how we brew it. All right, Danny and Dean here of Caffeine Kilos. Today we're going to talk about a different thing like we do every time. We're going to talk about the Moka Pot. It's not mocha like you get a mocha latte, venti mocha. It's mocha, M-O-K-A. If you're looking for them, sometimes they just say stovetop espresso maker. And make sure you say espresso, because someone commented on one of our other videos, they thought that we were saying...
He expressed his feelings about it.
He expressed his feelings about us saying espresso, which is if someone's kind of emotional and telling you how they feel, they're espresso, right? Whereas you use this to make espresso, all right? So that's how it works. We got this our stovetop. It's hot right now, so if one of us touches it, you're gonna get more of a show than you originally planned on, right? So let's take this thing apart. It unscrews, and then
you can just use your regular stovetop at home, right?
You can use a regular stovetop at home if you don't want to use, what's this thing actually called?
I think it's like a
hot plate.
Hot plate, yeah.
Hot
right?
plate?
No, hot plate.
Is it a hot plate?
Isn't a hot plate like more of like a dish that you can like cook in?
Couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
Portable
Anyways,
stovetop.
Yeah, portable stovetop.
Comment, let us know if this is a hot plate.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, and then there's this right here. This is where your coffee's going to go, and then we got this bottom part for the water.
Now, what's this little brass piece on the side here?
I think that's just for off-gassing.
Like for steam?
Mm-hmm, for steam. So how this thing works is, don't worry about that. So how this thing works basically is you put water. A little bit of white.
Is that like? I hope it's not like, what's it called?
Mold?
No. What's that other stuff?
No, it's not mold. It's iron in here.
Oh, okay.
It's iron, so it's fine. It's iron things. It's real iron. Anyway, so or steel, whatever it is, it's fine. Oxidation, maybe. Yeah, sorry, it's good for you, whatever it is.
Sketchy.
Yeah, I take that out of my cloth. So I don't use this a ton. It's a great tool to actually make some espresso, and it tastes good, tastes smooth in the end. But it's just, you got to get on the stovetop and heat it up. So it's just kind of a longer process.
It's not something
like
you do when you're in a hurry. It's something that you do like when you want to get the espresso taste.
Right.
And you got some time on your hands.
Right.
Sunday morning, or
I got something else to do. I got to cook breakfast or something anyway, and I know I want some espresso.
Or you're just a guy that gets up with plenty of time in the morning, so you can do whatever you want. There's no rush.
That's
no fight against the clock.
No fight against the clock. That's what you got going on. So let's take it step by step. Let's go and fill this puppy with water.
Okay, how far?
And so I'd fill it to just below the little brass
the
there.
Steamer?
That's probably a good way to go.
Old trusty here.
Old trusty water.
And there we go.
Oh, there it is right there. All right.
Perfect.
And now, so we'll just take this off the side for now. Now this is where the coffee goes. All right. So how much do you use? I'm sure you could look up exactly what some people say is the ideal amount or whatever. I just kind of feel like it only holds so much. So let's just let's rim it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So let's pop that bag of coffee open. We'll fill it up.
Fresh bag unopened here.
Fresh bag unopened. You know, a lot of people think coffee, they think it's just drip or just one type of thing. There's lots of different ways. And this is actually something I just found out about 2 years ago or so. So it's one of the kind of tools I have at home. Give that thing a whiff, huh?
Fresh. Nothing like some fresh.
Nothing like fresh PR blend, Caffeine Kilos PR blend. Just go ahead and fill that up there.
To the brim, huh?
Brim it. Or close, you know. I don't think you necessarily pack it in, like sometimes the espresso they'll pack it in. It actually says you're not supposed to pack it. So fill to the top, or relatively loose. Loosely packed, I guess some would say, if that's the thing. I don't know. Now, if you're doing this at home, you probably want to be a little more careful with the beans. If you're doing it in an office where someone else is going to clean up, you just kind of let it rip, you know.
And by someone else, he means us.
Yeah. There we go.
All right, there we go.
Pop that right in there. That goes right in.
Bam.
And you screw the top on.
Very cool.
All right. Now the top's screwed on, and you can see it's got a little spout there. Mm-hmm. This goes on the stovetop. All right. I'm going to crank this up, get it going now, and then now we wait.
How long does this usually take?
So how it works is, it varies. Varies on. I mean, this stove was preheated. I did not preheat the pot because I didn't want to, you got to touch and handle it. That's one thing about it. So there's a lot of metal there, and it's going directly on the stove
So
top.
preheat
So make
the
sure you use
stove.
the handle.
Preheat the stove.
You could.
Do not preheat it with the metal because it will burn you.
If you grab it and twist, it would burn you.
That's, that sounds silly, but you could easily do that.
Yeah. And preheating the stove or not, some people would say that it's more or less important. I mean, I don't know. I just did here because we're here doing this, and so we're trying to make this go as quickly as possible. So that's kind of where we're at there. Yeah, so that's going on now. It's going to take sometimes 5 minutes or so, probably, I would guess. But basically, the water heats up inside the bottom, and then when it gets to a certain temperature, it doesn't necessarily boil, but it's going to kind of like steam up through that. So as the water kind of starts getting warm and steaming up, and through that, and there's going to be pressure in there, right? So pressure going to build up. It's going to push the water through that coffee, and then out, and you'll kind of see it right there. Can't really see on the camera there, but there's a little spout there, and it basically kind of comes out the side of that spout.
It kind of looks like the top of like a steam engine.
Yeah.
What's that called?
Yeah, like a steam engine, like
the top. Yeah, with little holes in it. Kind of. What's that called?
I don't know, a pillar.
I guess. Yeah.
Stack, like a steam engine stack. Hey, have you ever heard, if I'm saying this right, someone was telling me, I think I remember hearing, it was like a scientist, say they were going to boil water that actually, how did it work? Something about like you put the pot of water on the stove, so that cold water and hot water, like hot water doesn't really boil faster than cold water. Or something like that.
Yeah, it'll do it at the same time.
It'll do it at the same time.
Yeah, it's kind of like how they say like a feather and a bowling ball will hit the ground at the same time. It's kind of like that same thing. Like no matter if it's warm or cold, it's only going to boil just as fast as the other one.
Is it maybe
because it's the molecules? It's not the temperature of the water. It's the molecules combining together is what makes it boil, right?
I don't know. If you're a scientist and you're watching this, let us know how this whole boiling water thing works.
I think it's the reaction with the heat to the actual liquid itself, regardless of the temperature.
Okay.
It's the chemical reaction inside.
Okay.
That produces the boiling, physical, like that you can see.
Which is part of the temperature. So I thought it was maybe something to do with the pot itself, because the pot is room temperature. The pot has to warm up, and that's what heats the water, right? Because it's a conduction thing. So it's something about the conduction of the heat going through the pot into the water.
I would love a detailed breakdown of the facts behind that, because that's very interesting.
I don't know.
So yeah, someone knows. Write it down.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where everyone thinks they know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where I was like, oh, well, yeah, you put hot water. Obviously.
You can make an educated guess on it.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I'm kind of curious to see. Now I really want to know.
Now I'm really hoping someone actually watches this and actually comments on it. Yeah. So, this coffee, what kind of coffee are we using here? While we're waiting.
Yeah, while we're waiting, we're using our PR blend, Caffeine and Kilos PR blend, which is a medium roast with imported Panama beans blended with our other beans to give it that caffeine spike. And we sell it in 12-ounce bags. You guys, if you're watching this, you probably already know about the PR blend brand or product or the brand itself. But if you're looking for a lot of taste and a lot of caffeine, this is the way to go.
There you go. So now it says it has higher caffeine content. Is there anything added to that?
Absolutely not. Yeah, it's 100% natural. The caffeine is actually, the heightened caffeine is from a blend of 2 different types of beans, including this Panama bean, which gives it that extra spike. So there's no additives, there's none of that silly stuff. It's just 100% organic.
That's a question we get a lot. People ask about what's added, because they just know it has higher caffeine.
Oh, you guys add caffeine?
Oh, you're just throwing it in there?
No.
It goes all naturally.
Absolutely not. That's dangerous. That's how you can hurt somebody physically. Yeah. So, I mean, if they don't want to do that.
Yeah, so just the types of beans, the way they're blended and roasted. Hear that?
Yeah, I'm starting to make some noise here.
Things are happening.
Interesting. So now
what does that sound like, in case they can't hear it?
Ocean mist breeze. Early morning ocean mist breeze.
Yeah, it's kind of like sounds like a pot right before it boils.
You ever put your ear into like a seashell?
Sounds like a seashell.
This kind of like, yeah.
Now I wonder.
Do you ever remember being like, oh, there it is.
Things are happening.
Starting to percolate.
So, there's water. It's going down over the sides now, so we're starting to get coffee in the top.
So now the visual here for you guys that can't see it at home, it kind of looks like one of those like chocolate fountains.
It looks like a chocolate fountain.
Like a chocolate fountain, how it kind of just pours over the sides.
And now that coffee is not boiling. Like look down in there, it's not boiling.
No.
It's foaming like espresso foam.
And it's actually filling up fast. Dude.
Woo!
Whoa.
Whoa, let's drop that down
Last
there.
time we need some boiling
Picked up the pace.
some hot water popping in our face.
And
here.
the directions on this also tell you not to put it on high. I think you're supposed to leave it like a medium so it doesn't get quite too hot, you know? And there we go. I think we're done. That's that. That's all she wrote.
No. It's
I'll go a
coming
little
back
more.
for
A little more.
Second wind here.
Second wind. Just caught a second wind.
Yeah, that's enough to sample it out.
There we go.
You know,
So once it's done, now again, you don't want to just grab it obviously here. It's going to be a little warm.
So avoid the handle and go straight metal grab.
Straight metal grab. Yeah, that's the way to do it. You know what I mean? Oh yeah. So here we go.
So now you leave the whole thing in one piece.
You leave it together when you pour.
Okay.
Because, you know, again, it's pretty hot right now.
So you're not going to be able to screw it off.
You're not going to be able to screw it off.
Yeah.
I suppose you could get like an oven mitt or something.
Now, I've honestly never even ever seen one of these in action before, and this is my first time.
Yeah.
And
So
we're
really-
also doing an instructional video on how to use it.
Right.
This is the first time I've ever used it.
Yeah.
Which makes this even cooler. But Danny
Yeah.
uses this all the time.
Yeah, I've used
But
that. Yeah. Mhm.
I'm learning just as much as everybody else right now, which is cool.
I don't use it a ton. Like I said, I use we have a drip coffee maker, you know, just standard kind of thing. I use
That's the go-to.
It's a Bun brand. The water's hot ahead of time. In the back, it keeps it warm. And so you just pour more water in. The way it works, basically, as soon as you pour more water in, start it, then it pours the water that's already hot through, so it doesn't boil the water, so it makes a little smoother taste. And it brews a whole pot in like, I don't even know, it's like 2 minutes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I use that all the time. I use the AeroPress every now and then. We did a video on AeroPress if you want to check that out.
I will have a link to the video in the description here. So
There you go. And so I use that probably once a month or twice a month. I probably use this once every couple months. Something different, you know? All right, so here we go. Time to pour it up. There we go, a little taster there. Let me get your dog, see if I can do this without burning myself on the stovetop there. That's just sitting in the middle of the desk. There it is. All right.
wow, that's piping.
Piping.
Is this even sippable?
Hold on.
This looks hot.
Yeah, it's hot. It's steamy. I mean, you use the word piping.
It's not that cold in here.
It's not that cold in here. Well, let's burn our mouths, huh?
Yeah.
And there we go.
I still didn't even get it.
You didn't get there. You're so nervous.
It's not coming out.
It didn't burn my mouth. That's how thick it is. Mud, Texas tea.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that is espresso.
Yeah.
Espresso. That's a lot stronger than I was expecting. Because the color, it looks dark, but not as dark as I thought it was going to taste.
Not as dark as I think it's going to taste. Absolutely. And, you know, and we see with this, with the white on the inside of that mug, you know, you kind of.
Oh yeah, this one's black, so it's a little hard to see.
Yeah, so it's thicker than like regular drip coffee. Not as thick as most espressos. Like for example, if you do like the AeroPress was thicker than this. You know,
More of a concentrate. This is more of
a little more of a concentrate. So this obviously is concentrate as well, because
Not
it
as
does so much, but not quite as much.
So what is this about right here? About 4 ounces, 6 ounces of liquid here?
I'd say so. Yeah, so I think when this thing, if you do a full pot, I'd say that's probably 4 shots of espresso in there.
So this would be more of like something for somebody that would want a personal cup.
Personal cup, or you know
you
what?
can split in a more of an espresso style cup,
Right.
Something smaller.
And because it is espresso, it's going to be more concentrated. And so this same type of thing, like if you want to make an Americano, you know what I mean? So you'd pour this in, you add water. So realistically, you could probably make one of these for like myself and my wife. You know, we would probably split this.
Maddie.
Yeah, our 3-year-old, get her fired up like she needs that. And then you'd add some water to it. You know, ice and cold water if you want iced coffee. Hot water if you want warm coffee. You can have some cream, whatever you want. So just basically stovetop espresso maker. Again, it's called a Again, it's called a I got a little condensation dropping off side there. It's called a Moka Pot. That's M-O-K-A. So yeah, if you want another way to make your espresso, another way to make your coffee, something to kind of play with. I really, like I said, I have 4 or 5 different ways at home. I got this, something different to play with, different way to make an espresso. Also, this is the type of thing, it's kind of heavy to take backpacking, but it's something to go camping with. It's a great thing to take camping because you don't really need anything.
Now this would be fun to take camping.
You could literally
do the whole thing in the morning with it. It'd be kind of fun.
You know, say you got your propane stove. You could also put this on the fire. You know, if you have a fire, you can pull some of the embers out of the fire, put this directly on the embers, and you can make your coffee there. So,
technically, now this is totally kind of off topic, but not. Could you use creek water that you might be worried about as being like contaminated and boil it through this little thing to purify it.
I mean,
it's drinkable.
I'm not a scientist, but and I'm not a Giardia expert.
This is a question for Pops.
This is a question for Pops. My Pops would know. Mr. Lear would know. Mr. Lear would know. Loves backpacking. And so, yeah, I mean, but I'm not sure if the water actually boils when it makes it, or if it just heats it to whatever temperature is required to shove it through. You know? And that's the thing too, and also because some people would say there's a thing for a while I know for Giardia to kill anything that might any living organisms in the water. It wasn't just a boil; they wanted you to boil something and have it boil for whatever 2 minutes or something like that, right?
This was it wasn't boiling for 2 minutes or however long it got.
And I'm not really sure if that's still a fact or not, or if that was something people believed at some point.
Cool.
So there you go.
There's another way right there.
Moka Pot. You can make your coffee on the go or at home or on a hot plate on your conference room table. Obviously, the best coffee to use that is the Caffeine Kilos PR blend.
Or Roaster Dave's.
Or Roaster Dave's signature blend. Check out caffeinekilos.com. You can see either one of those things.
Cool.
This is how we brew it.
That's how we brew it.
This is how we brew it.
What's up, guys? I'm here with this week's drop. This week we got the men's Indigo Movement Tee with the gray font, Caffeine Kilos, the lifestyle, the Movement USA on our 60/40 blended shirts. Available in sizes small through 3XL, so full size one on these. Perfect shirt for in and out of the gym. Favorite colorway of ours, honestly, that we came out with so far. So yeah, pick them up on caffeinekilos.com.